What's happening, football fans? It is time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
With your host, Loud Esmond and Jeremy James. For the best takes in NFL and football betting, fantasy football, and the latest news, get ready to steer the line. And welcome, everyone, once again to another episode of Steer the Line on a Friday evening. If you're listening on 1490 AM KMET in Southern California, or if you're joining us on either YouTube or Twitch, thank you either way for being here. And we are less than 1 week away from real life meaningful football. Loud.
Whoa. Real life meaningful football started last week. It was week 0 of college football. We've got 6 college football games tonight. We've got more than 40 college football games tomorrow, including a top 5 and a top 2 matchup when Notre Dame goes and takes on the Ohio State Buckeyes, plus Alabama's in action. Of course, they're favored to win by 42 by Vegas. But no, I mean, I understand, Jeremy. You're an NFL guy.
Yeah, I stand by my statement.
You're an NFL guy, but college football is great, and it's a lot of fun to bet on. Have you ever seen a 42-point spread in NFL betting?
No, that's not something we usually get.
So the Alabama Crimson Tide are favored by 42.5 now. It was 40 earlier in the week. Now it's 42.5 over the Utah State Aggies, who will come calling it Tuscaloosa on Saturday night in prime time. Sorry.
All right.
Lost my mind for a minute. Top story of the week. What do you think it is? Let me give you some potentials. Russell Wilson extension, Lamar Jackson no contract, Jimmy G contract reconstructed. College football is expanding the college football playoff from 4 teams, not to 6, not to 8, not to 10, but to a 12-team playoff.
How is that going to work?
How it's going to work is...
I mean, so many college teams, they have to rank them and they earn their way in, right?
Well, how it's going to work is this. Someone's going to throw $2 or $3 billion at college football for the right to air that tournament. 12 to 6. 6 will go to 3. The top seed of the 3 will get a bye week. And then whoever wins that game will play that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 additional weekends of college football, which will take college football to the first weekend of February.
So, like the Super Bowl.
Well, what they're trying to do is have the college championship game on the weekend when the NFL has the bye week before the Super Bowl.
Okay, so in between championship and the Super Bowl. The
Correct.
Pro Bowl week, when no one cares and watches anyway. Why not?
I mean, the crazy thing about this, and I know you're not a college football guy, but people have been complaining ever since they went to the 4-team playoff that it's the same 4 teams every year. Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, sometimes Notre Dame, Ohio State. Last year, Cincinnati snuck in. But basically, you can pencil in Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson, and Ohio State
That's no
in
fun.
some order almost every year. And then Notre Dame, who I am a fan of, they get slaughtered by either Georgia, Alabama, or Ohio State or Clemson every year because they sneak into the top 4. Now, at least, there's a chance that Notre Dame won't be the team that gets pantsed on national television that first weekend because that's normally what has happened. Hopefully, Notre Dame will be ranked like 6 or 7, and they'll get to play like the 8 or 9 seed and actually win a game in the playoffs before getting embarrassed when they play one of the real Power 5 programs. And how it's going to work is you have the Power 5, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and Pac-12, soon to be Pac-10, when USC and UCLA leave in 2 years. And those 5, whoever wins those divisions automatically gets in. And then you have an independent berth. Well, we all know who that means. That's Notre Dame. So that's 6. And then the 6 next ranked teams will also get into the mix for a total of 12.
Wow.
So what's weird is, think about this. Let's say UCLA wins the Pac-10 and they're not even ranked. Or somebody ranked 18th, like TCU wins the Big 10 or whatever division they play in. Basically, you could have unranked teams win the division, get into the playoff, and play a team that's way higher ranked than them the first weekend. Very weird. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. I know you don't care.
No, but but
50%
for fans
of the country's excited.
Yeah, for fans of college football, and especially a lot of those, like you said, with those the handful of teams getting in the last number of years, it's going to be a lot more fun, I think, and entertaining for the fans to see if their team makes it and then watch them actually go through a playoff scenario. That's pretty cool.
Well, and it's all about, Loud Esmond's rule of life. It's all about the money.
Oh, yeah, there's money to be made. I'm surprised they've waited this long.
Yeah, and what's happened is they've looked around and gone, Amazon paid how much for Thursday Night Football? Those games suck.
Yeah.
How much can we get for a real playoff system in college football? I think it's going to be a 10-year, $50 billion contract with the NCAA. Money. That's my guess. Somebody's going to pay $50 billion to have the 12 playoff format on their network.
Can you make that much money back in 10 years? $50 billion?
Amazon
advertising.
Amazon paid $4 billion for Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
How much is the college football playoff worth with 12 teams? A lot more.
Maybe. It is the NFL.
So,
it is the number one spectator sport in the country.
Well, and you're a California kid like me. California, we have the Pac-12, also Oregon and Washington. West Coast, when it comes to football, we are NFL watchers. You go to Alabama, go to Georgia, go to Minnesota, go to the Midwest and go to the South. College football is more popular than the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Wyoming for a short time. And even
the Cowboys!
The Cowboys, they were huge. It was the thing in that state. So, no, I get it. Absolutely. Like I said, a little different when you have multiple NFL teams within driving distance.
Right.
That makes
if you're in a college town in the Midwest or the South on a Saturday, good luck getting your oil changed or tire fixed or anything else that you need because everything is closed.
Town's going to shut down. It's game day.
The whole freaking town shuts down except for bars and restaurants that are carrying the game. Other than that, nobody's home.
Yeah, and even though I'm not a big college football fan or anything, that part of it is fun. That kind of fandom and, the fact that, a whole town would shut down because it's game day. I think that's awesome. So, more power to them.
Yeah, I mean, there is literally in a Midwest or Southern college town, not Atlanta or something, but Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Gainesville, Georgia.
Pig's Knuckle, Arkansas.
Well, no. The Fayetteville, Arkansas, is where the University of Arkansas is.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well, and there's like towns in North Carolina. The North Carolina Tar Heel football team and basketball team is in a metro area that has like 150,000 people. Right?
Is there a college in Delaware that anyone cares about?
I believe Holy Cross is
Okay.
in Delaware.
All right. You just never hear anything about Delaware. They got no sports going on.
No, but so that's that. I mean, the NFL is you've got to be rich to go to an NFL game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah, I mean, tickets for a decent ticket at an NFL game is what, $350 now minimum, one seat.
Yeah, about that for up in the
Yeah,
nosebleeds.
so you want to bring a family of four, it's $1,500. Now park, now buy food. You're talking about a $2,000 experience.
And if you're a Raider fan, you got to plan the whole weekend.
Yeah, you know, where am I staying in Vegas and all of that?
Yeah.
College football tickets are still $75, $125, right? And so it's affordable for the common person to go to a college football game. Now, in some places, Michigan, Ohio State, yeah, I get it, it's more expensive. But the other thing that you have in college football is a certain percentage of the tickets are set aside for the students who go for free.
Yeah, that's cool. Students should
So,
have to pay.
you know, there's a student section in the end zone where it's all 19, 22-year-old kids who are rabid fans of their team. The NFL experience is cool, but the college football experience is much more tribal and heartfelt and authentic.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. And that's why I think it's so much fun. Even though it's not anything I've ever been involved in or been a part of, I just love the fandoms that college teams get.
Yeah, I mean,
not just their.
if you think the Raiders fans are fanatics,
Oh yeah,
you know,
college fans
go
are
to
great.
a Wyoming Cowboys football game or you know, Texas Tech or whatever, and it's off the hook.
Because it's the current students, it's the fans around town, it's the alumni. Everyone's into it, so it's fun.
Yeah, and you know, you see the alumni of these football schools, they are going to these games for 50 years. You know, I mean, it's the college football experience. It's different than the NFL, and it's a lot of fun. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this 12-team playoff that is going to start in 2026. So, I mean, as soon as their contract is up with the CFB as it is now, they're moving to 12 teams. And it's crazy because the oldsters, you know, well, huff and puff. You know, college football playoff, it's bad enough we have 4 teams. We need the bowl games. Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? They figured it out. There's billions of dollars at stake. And like I said, Loud Esmond's rule of life is always about the money. By the way, speaking of that Loud Esmond guy, watch this weekend all around the country and especially in California. I'm going to figure prominently in a half an hour CBS News special about sports gambling in the United States and the current fight in California.
Nice.
I did a lengthy interview with CBS Sports earlier this week. Was that Tuesday? Monday. No, it couldn't have been Monday. It was Tuesday. Right. Tuesday, I went up to my favorite casino, Snoqualmie Casino and Sportsbook, the closest sportsbook and casino to Seattle, and a class experience, by the way, and shot a lengthy interview where I was interviewed as the Loud Esmond character, and they wanted to know all about sports betting and what my experience was like and how long I've been doing it and why and what it's all about and how it equates with fantasy football. And anyway, so CBS News, the special is going to air this weekend. It's 30 minutes long, according to the producer, and every CBS affiliate in the country has access to it. And he says probably about 2/3 of the CBS affiliates in California will run it this weekend. Nice. So keep your eyes peeled. And I actually dressed up for that interview. I had on, you know, the vest, and I put on the expensive watch and, you know, the class ring, and, you know, I look like some Goomba from Jersey in the 80s. Anyway, so here we are. Christian has joined us. Christian, please save us from talking about college football because Jeremy's eyes are going to roll into the back of his head in just a second. And tell us why the Russell Wilson signing is a huge mistake.
So the Russell Wilson signing is the biggest thing in football right now, in my opinion. You know, he got a lengthy contract extension. I have it right here. It's 5 years, $245 million with $165 million guaranteed. This also reconstructed his contract where he's only getting paid $17 million this season instead of his expected $29 million that he was promised with Seattle. He is now under contract until the end of the 2028 season.
When he will be 40.
He will be 40. That is
at
correct.
the beginning of the season.
Now, if he feels like he has a chance to win MVP or has a chance to win a better deal, he has an opt out in a potential opt out in 2026, which leaves either the team to pay the full $161 million left on his contract, whether that's if he stays or if he leaves. They have about
okay. So this isn't. They didn't really sign him for that long. They actually only signed him through 2026.
So they have it's a team option, not a player option. It's a team option to where he could the team can decide to cut him, and if they do or drop his contract in better terms, that leaves him.
All right. I don't think it's that big of a mistake now because my thought was, if you think every quarterback is going to be Tom Brady, you're out of your freaking mind.
Yeah, that leaves him. So if they cut him at 2026 or opt out of his contract, that leaves him with $31 million in dead cap for the next 2 years after that, which puts him about $31 million, $62 million in dead cap for the next 2 seasons of the remainder.
What his contract million a year?
A year, not in dead cap in total. Yeah, but it is $20 million better than he's suspected to get. In the last 4 years of his contract, he's getting paid over $50 million. That's from 2025 to 2028, and one of them is closer to the 60 million range to the 50.
Okay, let's just point out the Denver Broncos have a new ownership group, and this is one of the first moves that they're making is to extend Russell Wilson for 5 years for an enormous amount of money and take him to the age of 40 as their starting quarterback, Jeremy. As a Raiders fan, how excited are you about this? I can't hear you. You're muted. Jeremy, you're muted.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, especially for a guy who's supposed to be playing until he's 40. Like you said, not everyone's Tom Brady. Not everyone's going to be Tom Brady. By the time that 2026 season rolls around, he could be about done. He's going to be pushing 37 years old at that point. So who knows? The contracts are insane. They're making so much cash. I'm expecting at this point, they're going to have to offer, what's his name in
Lamar.
Yeah, they have to offer Lamar, straight up $200 million guaranteed.
Yeah, well, actually, I have a segue into that right now. So obviously Russell Wilson isn't what he used to be. He's not the guy, but he's Denver's guy, and they believe in him. So all the talk this offseason, which quarterback should get paid, is Lamar Jackson. He was rumored to have been offered a $250 million deal from the Baltimore Ravens. Now he just came out on Twitter saying that's not what happened. A few fans were arguing in the comments, and one of them said they offered him a large sum of money. The exact number they used was $250 million. And after that, Lamar just tweeted right under it, says, no, they didn't. And Lamar seems very unhappy that he's not getting paid in Baltimore, and Baltimore doesn't seem to want to pay him. They think they can find someone better or draft someone better for their future, and I think that's a big mistake for Baltimore. Lamar, he's an MVP level quarterback. He's not what he used to be. He's not the best quarterback in the league anymore, but he's still a great
kid.
Yeah,
he's lots of years ahead of him.
He's 26, 27. He's only 2 years older than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's got lots of years ahead of him where he's going to be inaccurate throwing the ball.
Yes. But no.
He cannot hit receivers outside the hashes. And he has no deep ball at all.
So
that's such a
they still win with the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but last night, I won both sides of a football bet. I had +4.5, and then midway through the game, I went ahead and took the opponent, Penn State -2, and the game ended at 4, and I won both sides of the bet. You know what the chances of that happening are? They're about the same as Lamar Jackson winning a Super Bowl. Because quarterbacks that win the Super Bowl can throw the football.
Lamar Jackson can't throw the football. Everyone
talks.
talks about this. He can't. The advanced analytics
he can, but he's
calls
not,
him. The advanced analytics make him one of the top 12 best passers in the NFL right now, and that's true.
Why does every good receiver want to not play in Baltimore?
Because who wants to live in Baltimore?
Because he can't throw the ball. Okay, we'll just leave that there. Lamar Jackson, God bless him. I hope he gets his money, and his
He
family
will somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Texans sign. No, you know who's going to sign him? The Cleveland Browns. That's who's going to sign Lamar Jackson. By the way, just to throw in a little gambling action here, the Troy Trojans are taking on the Ole Miss Rebels. Remember Lane Kiffin, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah.
Lane Kiffin is
Unfortunately.
the coach of the Ole Miss Rebels right now. It's one of the top offenses in the country last year. They get the Trojans, not of USC, and not the other ones that you're thinking of, but the Trojans of Troy University. You've never heard of it. Most people haven't. Come to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is only a 21.5-point favorite. I think they're going to score 60 on Troy. So if you want to make some money, go bet on Ole Miss tomorrow, -21.5 against the Trojans of Troy. Just throwing it out there.
That sounds
There's my
exciting.
college football best bet for tomorrow.
Wow. So that's where Lane Kiffin has ended up, huh?
You know what? And he's happy as can be. He's
Hey.
running a program that is known for cheating and for paying recruits. And so he's right at home. Where
Good
is
for him.
Christian,
Yes.
Lamar Jackson storyline, and we've talked about the mistake that Denver has made. Jimmy Garoppolo, right choice or wrong choice? And what's the dynamics there?
It's the right choice for the 49ers. I think it's the wrong choice for Jimmy G. You know, I love the guy, and he just proved himself that he's a team player. He just proved that he's willing to take a pay cut for the team to have a better chance to win, and I love that about him. But I don't think he's ever going to get another $26.9 million season again in his life. Now, right now, that's what he was expected to pay until his contract restructure.
But they would have cut him.
He still gets paid all that money.
Even if they cut him, he still got the 26
That was a
million?
fully guaranteed $26.9
Oh, my
million
God,
at the
what
end of
an
the season.
idiot!
So
How can you be so dumb?
in his head, he's gambling on himself. So he took a massive pay cut to where his base salary is about $7 million.
How is he going to afford to take those porn stars to dinner at that rate?
So I don't know.
Nobody
man.
remembers that story but me?
I don't. I might have been too young.
Jeremy?
No, I don't. I don't pay attention to Jimmy G.
He gets traded to the 49ers, and like the first week he's there, he's seen at a San Francisco restaurant with a porn star.
That seems
Hey,
about right.
living the life.
Hey, yeah, single.
All right. Well, you know,
Whatever.
So,
Jimmy G can do what he wants to do with his own free time.
I think. Well, I won't get into it. Anyway, great for the 49ers, right? They now, if Trey Lance sucks,
they have
which
Jimmy G.
everybody thinks he does, then you're the Bay Area guy, Jeremy. Friends there. I know you live in the high desert now, but that's where you're from, and you've got a lot of peeps there. What are they saying about Trey Lance?
Well, I
in
mean, one
the
of the
Bay Area?
things that I think that people aren't really thinking about. Yeah, he gave up a lot of money. He restructured. He's on the cheap now, which makes him much more tradable if something happens and somebody
there's
needs a
an injury
quarterback.
somewhere. Right.
You know, someone, $26 million for him. Someone might go, oh, I don't know, and look free agency. for $7 million, you get a guy who has been taking his team to the not Super Bowl, but to the playoffs and winning games and all that good stuff. It's going to be much easier in week 4 or 5 if someone goes down to trade Jimmy G.
Now,
and
here's
get
the other
something
thing. Here's the
significant
other
for him.
thing. The team that he was most likely to go to if he was cut was Seattle. And, oh, my God, maybe he watched Seattle play and went, oh, hell no. That's how bad the Seahawks look.
I don't think the Seahawks were ever going to make that move, or they would have by now, I believe.
They thought he was going to get cut and they could get him on the cheap.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, and now they could, if they want to make a trade for him now, they could get him on the much cheaper with his the deal.
I don't think he would agree. My understanding is Jimmy Garoppolo, as part of the structure, got
no trade clause.
My own trade clause.
Yeah, he did.
Not a no trade clause, but if you're going to trade me, I have to agree to it.
By the way,
All right,
Christian, you're not
Jeremy,
on camera.
taking
30 seconds.
Jeremy, you got to transition us out. Here we go. And Christian's going to insert
Christian,
video.
find your camera while I tell everyone listening on 1490 AM KMET in Southern California and the Inland Empire. Thank you for tuning in, and join us again next week when we return, and every Friday. And if you'd like to continue on with the conversation, just surf on over to YouTube or Twitch and find our Steer the Line channels, and you can continue to watch the rest of the show. Go Raiders, go football. We'll see you guys next week. Yeah, I wasn't going to let you say it this time. All right, and everyone who's still with us here on YouTube and Twitch or joining us now, thanks for being here for the second half. And we're talking Jimmy G still.
Yeah, that Jimmy G contract insane, and the biggest thing about that contract is his incentives. Have you guys heard the
what
incentives on it?
happened to the insert of my video from the freaking Snoqualmie Casino and Sportsbook?
Ready to run it?
Well,
run
I
that.
guess we'll just stop dead in our tracks
Yeah.
and switch. Who needs,
It was supposed to happen at the bottom of the half hour.
I guess it's going to the top.
Let's run it now. Well, hello, Steer the Line, folks. I am Loud Esmond here, and it is time for your weekend outlook, and I'm coming to you from the Snoqualmie Sportsbook. Big weekend in college football, the first full weekend of college football. Of course, we had week 0, which actually featured a couple of interesting games. Of course, you had Northwestern take down Nebraska, which had to be very depressing for Nebraska fans. And then UConn leading the Utah State Aggies at some point, which was also just kind of a strange outcome. By the way, those same Utah State Aggies are going to be taking on Alabama. And I don't know if they're going to have to invoke the mercy rule or whether this is going to be a mercy killing. The line is somewhere around 41 to 42 and a half. By the way, if you wanted to know some interesting trivia, the biggest upset based on the line ever in college football was the Howard Bison taking on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Runnin' Rebels. They were plus 45 and a half and actually beat UNLV in that game. That is, by the way, just about close to what the line is. But by game time, Alabama may be a 45-point favorite. We'll have to see. Notre Dame is getting no respect against Ohio State. They are plus 17 and a half against the Buckeyes. One of the problems there is, of course, Notre Dame is very thin at receiver. Their top receiver going into the season is now out for the season, so that is a problem for them there. Can they shut down the Ohio State offense, which is expected to be the top offense in the nation, is the question, and I just don't know. Everybody knows I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I don't bet my fandom. One of the rules, if you're a fan of a team, don't bet for them, don't bet against them, just try to stay away from it, and that's what I'm going to do with this game. Utah Aggies, the Utes. The Utah Utes take on Florida, the Gators at the Swamp. Utah expected to have a very good year. They are minus 3.5 to minus 4 at the Gators. I do wonder about this game. The Florida Gators have tons of athletic talent, and Utah is going to be playing in the heat, in the humidity, in Florida. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. They're saying there might be 1 million total people, metro, there in the region for the game. It's going to be kind of nuts. Ole Miss, minus 21.5 against the Troy Trojans. Lane Kiffin, man, he has been killing it with the recruiting portal. I think this team is extremely talented. They are going to score a ton of points, and Troy is probably in real trouble there. And then a Thursday night game, interesting, Purdue +4 at Penn State. Penn State had a down year last year. Wow. Purdue is a game team. They have a lot of experience coming back, and that +4, it might be something that you might want to take a look at. And then USC, high expectations, -32 going up against Rice. Rice is going to get Rice-a-ronied by USC. I don't think that game is going to be anywhere close. And then the Monday night game, Clemson is -21 at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, the cupboard is kind of bare there for the Yellow Jackets. They're still trying to transition from a 1960s, 1970s style offense. Clemson, though, are they 21 points better than them? Question. That's a question mark for me, and we're going to have to see. But first weekend, well, we had week 0, but the first real weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for college football. Some really interesting games coming up. I'm Loud Esmond, and I hope you enjoy your sports betting. Let's get some big winners out there. And this has been your Weekend Outlook, and I'm coming to you from the Snoqualmie Casino Sportsbook. Who is that guy? He looks like some mobster from Jersey from 1985. The hell is that?
Oh no, man.
I don't know. Just hanging out in a casino. Just going through the back kitchen. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, right?
Grabbing
Looks
a
like scene
cannoli.
from Goodfellas.
Leave the gun. Take the cannolis. All right. Let's talk about the NFL, shall we?
Yes.
Bills, Rams, Thursday night, kicking off the NFL season at SoFi. I know who Christian's taking in this game. The line is +1 Rams, -1 Bills. Jeremy, where do you come down in the opening game of the NFL season, knowing that if you pick anyone but the Rams, Christian will be very upset with you?
No, I believe it, but this is a tough game. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. It's a great way to kick off the season. I got to be honest, but I'm leaning, and it's not just to not upset Christian. I am leaning LA a little bit because it's at home, and that's really one of the biggest advantage. I think team wise, these teams are very even. They both got good quarterbacks. They've got great receivers, average run games that are, leaving a little bit to be desired. So we'll see how that goes. But both teams can play D. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be competitive. But I like the Rams by maybe a field goal in this one.
Yeah, and I say take the over. I believe the over is 52.5, something like that. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a great game to start the offense. I got the Rams, but not by much. I agree, like a field goal, maybe a point or two. And, yeah, man, I'm so excited for football to come back this season. We got, 6 more days?
So, yeah, you're lucky. You get your team on the first game, and then the rest of us got to wait till Sunday anyway.
We're going to see if I'm bragging or if I'm gloating or if I'm crying on Friday's show next week.
Oh yeah, we'll get the Christian reaction directly after the game that day.
No.
Nice. Loud
How
seems unhappy.
can you both be so wrong at the same time?
Please
It's kind of
tell us.
amazing to me.
Break it down, Loud. What you got?
Matthew Stafford's elbow is going to fall off very soon, apparently, according to the reports that I'm hearing. No Austin Eckler. I'm sorry.
Mini.
No. The Rams running back is not going to be in
Cam
the game.
Akers.
No, they're
Cam
gonna be
Akers.
playing. They're both good to go. They just announced that.
Yeah.
Both good to go, but both are still.
Daryl Henderson and Cam Akers are gonna have very optimal or not optimal, very small roles in game one.
Yeah, they're both on a pitch count basically because they're
It's
not.
going to be a lot of jet sweeps.
because
it's
they're
gonna be a
not
passing game
healthy.
too. It's going to be a passing game this game.
And Matthew Stafford's elbow is falling off.
Matthew Stafford's a gunslinger. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have an elbow.
Has any team looked better than Buffalo in the preseason? Anybody?
I don't talk about
Raiders.
the preseason. Yeah, I'll give you
No,
that.
the Raiders look great in the preseason, but it could be a mirage because they're in the desert. No, I've watched Buffalo in this preseason. OMG, they look unstoppable. They have a better defense than the Rams do. They have a better quarterback than the Rams do.
Yeah, Josh
And-
Allen is the best quarterback in football.
They now have a great running back that they took in the first round, and they have a decent running game.
We'll see.
Well, see, yeah, you can't say great until he plays an NFL regular season game. Let's be honest. Come on.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, they're going to rely on Montgomery. He's still their number one dude, and you're going to see Cook getting a lot of catches out of the backfield and probably, 5 to 7 carries maybe, but it won't be this game where he blows up, I don't think.
I'm taking the Bills minus 135 on the money line. I will not lay any points one way or another. I'm just saying the Bills are going to win this game. They look like an angry, focused, hungry, dominant team. And and the Rams are very, very good. And I very well think this may be a preview of the Super Bowl.
I exactly believe that.
Depending on what happens with Tampa Bay and their interior line. And then, of course, the Seattle Seahawks have an outside chance. Just kidding. Seattle Seahawks.
If you bet on the Seahawks and they win, you have a big payout,
oh my
man.
God, you could have a payday that you can't imagine. Okay, so just to wrap it up, Christian and Jeremy are on the Rams. I'm on the Bills, and we'll go from there. You notice the most interesting game for me in the opening weekend of the NFL? And it sounds... Oh, go ahead.
Is it Browns versus Panthers?
Yes!
Yeah!
Of course.
That's going to be
Everybody wants
such
to
a
see
fun
that.
game.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear what Baker said? I'm going to F him
The
up.
FU game of the ages.
Did you hear what Baker said?
No, please regale me.
He said this was supposed to be off book, but it got leaked. They asked him what he's going to do week 1. He says, I'm going to F them up. I'm going to F them up.
Oh,
And
my
he probably
God.
he very well could. I
think
don't
he's gonna
have a
come
lot of
out.
faith in that Cleveland offense being run by
What's his
know,
name? Exactly.
Average Joe. I forget his name.
Jacoby Brissett.
He's another noodle arm ninny.
Brissett. No, Brissett.
Yeah, Jacoby
Sorry.
was that. Yeah.
Brissett is
yeah.
the name of my cow.
He loves throwing the
The
tight
other way
end because he can't throw the
first.
ball any further.
The only thing that worries me about the Browns-Panthers game is him being overamped. I mean, he is going to be so... Baker Mayfield is so emotional and so fragile mentally. If he is overamped for the game, he might he could burst into flames right there on the first play. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say
like
first play.
spontaneously combust because he's so overamped.
Yeah, that's a really good take. Actually, a lot of people don't take that in consideration with Baker. He plays emotionally, and that either goes in your favor or goes opposing you. And he could be really, really good in this team and just open fire and stretch the field and be a great quarterback. Or he could get in his head and try to play hero ball, and it could just mess him up.
Or
the entire rest of the
he
game.
could overthrow the first pass by 5 yards and hit the safety in the chest.
Yeah, that's
You know
it.
what I mean? I mean, he could be that, because this is the same guy that got stopped for a DUI, ran from the police, got slammed into a brick wall by 2 cops, and then said, "Why'd you do that to me, dude?" So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, we'll see what happens with Baker Mayfield.
You know what I want to see in that game is during the commercials is if we get the debut of him moving into his new home stadium.
Yeah, right?
No, that contract is over. By the
No,
way.
they got to sign it again. He's got to move now. And I want the
Yes.
whole story of him moving into a new place.
I
Oh
would
my
love
God,
that.
you have got to be kidding.
I remember seeing those commercials back in high school.
It just
That was a
no.
long-
All right,
I forget how young Christian is sometimes.
well,
Like, man.
actually, I changed his diapers when. Just kidding. All right,
That'll be
Bills.
interesting to find out right now.
Bills. I'm saying are going to win. Everybody else is on the Rams.
Yeah.
We're all on the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is
No
going to tear it up
points,
too.
but Panthers minus 130.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next game on my list that I think is interesting. 49ers minus 7 at Chicago Bears. Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I don't expect a lot out of Chicago this year. You know, they'll sneak in and win a handful of games as they grow together as a team, but there's just not a lot going on there offensively for Justin Fields to work with. The defense is kind of non-existent in Chicago right now, which is weird to say for the Bears. You know,
Well, they have Roquan Smith.
yeah, but that's about all
Who
they've
doesn't
got
want to play
really.
there?
Yeah, he doesn't even want to be there. So yeah, I like the Niners in that game absolutely.
Minus 7
Yeah,
with Trey Lance starting.
yeah, that's fine. They'll be able to run
Jimmy
the
G's
ball
on the
on
bench.
Chicago if Trey Lance falters, and they'll run. And that defense, they won't be able to put up any points.
If
really,
anything,
Chicago,
they'll
I
put
don't
Debo
think.
on the jet sweep, make him a running back again.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Well, that's an interesting question to me is Debo sort of made it clear I don't want to be treated like a running back because it's going to shorten my career as a wide receiver. What do you think, Jeremy, as the guy with the Bay Area connections, is he going to be okay with being used like a running back?
Well, one of the things that we're not 100% sure of and we don't know is, was that the head coach or was that the offensive coordinator that made that decision to run those plays? Because that offensive coordinator is now the head coach in Miami. And it may not be part of the game plan going into the season, knowing what Debo, prefers. He did fantastic. I mean, it was great to watch him run the ball. He ran it well. He won them some games. It was amazing for fantasy. But I understand him not wanting to go that route anymore. He's a wide receiver. He doesn't want to put that kind of damage on his body.
For betting purposes, if Debo is not going to play that role anymore and he's going to be a wide receiver, not that gadget player, are the 49ers as good, Christian?
If they're not as good, no, because Debo was such a great offensive threat on both sides of the field. I'm sorry, not both sides of the field. In both positions, he had almost as many rushing yards as he did receiving yards. And they're not going to be as good, but they're still going to be a good
he
team.
can take it up, down, sideways, up the middle, or behind.
Yeah.
They did not have any kind of running element with their quarterback in Jimmy G last year. Trey Lance can take off and go.
Oh, see,
and
you know
disappear
what
on
it'd be great for
So
me to
they may
see
not
is
need
an
Debo to do it as
RPO
much.
game.
That is true.
An RPO game with Trey Lance and Debo could be devastating.
Oh, it would be fun. It would be absolutely fun to watch. It would. Yeah, no, it would score points. It'd be great. But I just don't know if they're going to do it, knowing how much they paid Debo. He doesn't
and the
want.
fact that he doesn't want to do
He
it.
doesn't want to do it, and now they got a mobile quarterback who can
Remember when
take off and
RG3
go.
was Rookie of the Year, and then his parents sat down with the owner of the Redskins and said he needs to be a pocket passer.
I
or you're
feel
gonna
like
short-
we talk about this every other week, man.
Loud loves this story.
I know.
Do I bring this up that much?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard this story at least 5 times.
He wasn't
Yes.
even watching. He wasn't old enough to
I
watch
think
it.
this is the first time I've ever told this story.
No. No, it is
No?
not.
We did it a week
No,
ago.
We did this
Did
2
we?
weeks. We've been doing this all
Okay,
summer.
moving on. Chiefs. The Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs open the season against the Cardinals. Jeremy.
Oh man. Yeah, I like the Chiefs in that game. I don't
Remember
know.
when Robert Griffin's parents? No, sorry.
Excuse me. I don't know. Expect
Daniel
what?
Snyder said. Okay, Cardinals Chiefs. Chiefs minus 180 on the money line. Jeremy.
Oh yeah. I was just kind of waiting for you to drop your one-liners. So here we go. Yeah, I like the Chiefs in this game. I don't know what to expect from the Arizona Cardinals really this season. They're going to win some games. I don't know if they're going to be all that good without DeAndre. It may take a few weeks before they get rolling again. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Yeah, They're going to win this game. I don't think the Chiefs are going to dominate like they have in previous years. I don't think they have the same kind of defense or the offense that they once had. But they're still going to win double-digit games and beat most of the teams they need to beat. And Arizona's going to be a week one win for them.
Yeah, the Chiefs are. I don't think they're going to stomp over Arizona because, as much as I hate to say it, Kyler Murray is a really good quarterback.
You know what we
gonna
call
win.
Kyler Murray on this show?
I'm sorry?
Kyler Murray, my nickname for him is the water bug.
No,
You
I
remember
just think,
ever try to catch a water bug and it just squirts right out of your hand and you can't catch it?
no, that kid is fast. I've seen him live at the Rams Stadium, but every time I watch him run, I just hear the old cartoon running sound.
Yeah. Like a water bug, right,
Yeah,
Jeremy?
exactly.
Sure. I've never spent a lot of time catching water bugs, but okay.
Okay, and Hunter Renfrow is a slot machine. Moving on, the Buccaneers open their season against the Cowboys. Apparently, Tom Brady and his wife are in a massive fight. She's kind of pissed that he's playing football again, and he was supposed to be like, the stay-at-home dad while she went and did her modeling stuff because she was sick of him not being there to raise the kids. And that's what his 10, 11-day absence was about, is she had to go some shoot in Borneo or whatever, and she said, no, we're not hiring babysitters to watch the kids. I've made all this up, by the way. I'm just saying.
I was say that would have been a really interesting story
It
right
seems
there.
very weird what's going on with Tom Brady, and is he going to be the same guy missing all that firepower? Godwin, Gronk, his center's gone, the two guards are gone, one of the tackles is gone, the offensive line seems kind of weak. Jeremy, Buccaneers or Cowboys in week one?
I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here, and I think it's going to be a Cowboys upset week one. I don't know. I think the Buccaneers are going to, again, they're going to be a playoff team. They'll probably be all right, but I think they're going to struggle a little bit here and there, not going to be as dominant as they were last year. They're going to have to wait for, Godwin to get healthy. They're going to have to see if Julio Jones has anything left. So we'll have to see overall how the Buccaneers do. I think Brady's going to Brady. He may struggle a little bit with the O-line. My biggest thing is, they got a head coach there who wasn't very successful in his first head coaching stint, and he kind of just fell into the job. Is that going to make a difference? Bruce Arians was an offensive-minded coach who had them firing on all cylinders. Now they got a defensive-minded coach without a great track record as a coach. So I'm more concerned with that part of it than I am really about Tom Brady. But I like Dallas week one.
Yeah. I don't think the loss of Bruce Arians is going to be a big trouble for the Bucs. Yes, he's a good offensive-minded coach, but it's not the end of the world for them. The one thing I do want to talk about what Lou said is Tom Brady going to be okay with? Oh, I'm sorry, Loud Esmond said before about if he lost Godwin. I believe Evans is out. Is he going to be okay? Tom Brady made Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman Hall of Famers on his great passing and getting chemistry with these guys. I don't think he's going to have a problem with his receivers, even their second strings, third strings guys. And I got Buccaneers. I got the Bucs for week one.
Okay. Good to know. Broncos, Seahawks. Broncos -6.5 going to Seattle. I think this is obvious, Jeremy, but weigh in.
Well, if only they had made the correct choice at quarterback, then they would have been a Super Bowl bound team, according to some. But no, it's the Seahawks. The best thing they got going is their run game.
They still got DK.
Yeah, but who's going to throw him the ball? I don't know. I feel like Seattle is one of those teams. They just feel like a team that's like, we'll play this year, we'll show up,
but we're not going to play.
We'll bring some Jello salad that no one wants, and we'll be there. But I don't know how hard we're going to play because we kind of want a quarterback next year.
Yeah, I think they were sort of hanging out for either Baker or Jimmy G, and that didn't happen. Geno, honestly, has just looked awful. Drew Lock, Christian, I know you love the guy, but Jesus, he threw 3 interceptions in the last preseason game, and they were horrible. I mean, they weren't.
Job to Geno.
Yeah, and he lost the job to Geno.
That's bad.
So that's just bad. All right.
You know, as a beat reporter for the Seahawks, I want to say Seahawks got it, but from what I've seen this preseason, yeah, I have to take Denver. You know, my draft stock on Drew Lock was high, and it's getting lower and lower every time I see him play a football game, which sucks to say for me because I really like the kid.
All right, quick takes. Baltimore Ravens -7 at New York Jets. Yes or no on the Ravens to win by 7, Jeremy?
Yeah, against the Jets. Joe Flacco starting. I don't see much happening there.
Oh, yeah. Jets is a quarterback. Yeah, I got the Ravens, too.
New Orleans Saints -5.5 at Atlanta Falcons. By the way, I agree with both of you on the Baltimore Ravens pick.
Yeah, I like the New Orleans pick. Atlanta's going to struggle this year. Most people expect them to. They're going to finish last in that division, I'm sure. And I think New Orleans has a good shot of being a really solid team. So I like New Orleans.
Yeah, the defense is definitely going to hold Atlanta to little to almost no points. So, yeah, take the Saints.
Desmond Ridder starts at quarterback in the second half for the Atlanta Falcons and leads the Falcons to a win over the New Orleans Saints.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
That's my take.
All right.
New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins. New England +3, Dolphins -3. Jeremy.
I like the Dolphins to win in Week 1. I think they just. I think they have right now. I think they're just a better offense, maybe a better team than the Patriots. And the Patriots have looked awful in the preseason. Their offense has been terrible. So I don't know if they're going to be able to pick it up or not. The fact that they don't have a real offensive coordinator, that they got 2 former defensive guys sharing duties because neither one of them wants to take over. It just seems like a mess there. I have not a lot of faith in New England this season.
Yeah, I agree. And before I say anything, I want to go on record and publicly apologize to Tua Tagovailoa. You know, a few weeks ago I said he's not a NFL starting quarterback. I've seen him this preseason. He looked good. And I just saw a clip from him the other day on Twitter throwing an absolute deep missile to Tyreek. So I got Miami this game. And Tua, I'm sorry, ball out this season.
Pittsburgh Steelers +6.5 taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati to open the season. Mitchell Trubisky likely to be your opening starter. Oh, wait, or is it Kenny Pickett? Because the coach of the Steelers won't say Mike Tomlin. Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's trying to be a little coy, not give anything away before Week 1 since he has that opportunity to, do that because no one knows exactly who's going to start. But I don't think preparing for either one of these guys is going to be all that different for Cincinnati. I honestly don't dislike Pittsburgh this season, but in this game in Week 1 when they haven't figured out their quarterback situation just yet, I definitely like Cincinnati in this game. Pittsburgh offensive line is still a problem. So
they got to win by 7, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That
I like
defense
Cincinnati.
is tough.
Christian, they got to win by 7. What's your call?
By 7, no. They're going to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, in my opinion. So it's not going to be the greatest start for Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon.
And there's no value on taking the Bengals at -260 on the money line, so we're going to pass on that game.
Yes.
We're going to talk about 49ers, Bears, Eagles, Lions. The Philadelphia Eagles go to Detroit. America's team, Detroit Lions, after
blue-collar bad
Hard
boys.
Knocks. The Lions are +4 against the Eagles. The Eagles' best tackle just got out for the season with a non-displacement fracture. Is that right, Jeremy?
Not for the season, actually. It's something that they feel like he's going to
Well,
be able to.
he's out for this game, right?
Yeah, probably a week or two, but no, it feels like something he's going to be able to play with throughout the season with just basically taping the thing up and going. But I like Philly. I like Philly this season. So, and in week one, I like Philadelphia in this game as well. I think they're going to end up near the end being one of the better teams in the NFC.
Christian.
It's Philadelphia and Detroit. You know what? I'm going to say America's team. America's team. Let's go Detroit. I got
+4?
+4.
They're scrappy and they're going to be fun. You know,
I would love to see them.
Definitely.
Yes.
I am with Christian. I love Detroit at home to open the game this season. I think Philadelphia's overrated. I think a lot of people are expecting Jalen Hurts to turn into something he's not. Jalen Hurts got benched his junior year at Alabama for a different quarterback, and I'm not getting over that. So
yeah, but then Jalen Hurts took his team to the playoffs last year in the NFL. So
Joe
getting
Burrow
benched in
got
college
benched
is kind
in
of
college,
old news.
Joe
He's
Burrow
gotten
got
better,
benched in college, man.
and
Come
he's got a great receiver in AJ Brown now. They got a good run game.
well,
one of
Detroit
the better
Lions
offensive
are
lines.
ankle biters. They're ankle biters.
I love the Lions, and I'm going to be rooting for them every game. But week one, I like Philly.
All right, lock of the week: the Indianapolis Colts -8.5 against the Houston Texans. Oh my God, is there a worse team than the Houston Texans on the planet?
No,
I
there's
don't
not.
think so.
You could say Seattle depending on the quarterback situation goes.
Matt Ryan, with that running back, with that offensive line, with that defense, oh my God, I think they are a serious challenger to win the AFC, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a really good team. They were, a good quarterback away last year from making the playoffs, and they've got the guy they need now. I think they're going to win that game, obviously, week one.
I agree.
And I really like them throughout the season. I
My
think
lock
Michael
of the
Pittman
week,
is
by
going
the
to
way,
be
is the Indianapolis
a
Colts
breakout.
week one winning by 14-17, way over the 8.5.
All right. Don't we have the Raiders and the Chargers?
Oh, we're also at 6 o'clock.
Oh,
We're out of time, dude.
We're out of time.
take the Chargers.
We'll call
But,
that
we
game
got-
next week.
That's all right. We got we'll be able to pick the rest of the games right before the weekend, and
There you go.
yeah, we'll talk the Rams and the Bills next week. The first game of the season. We'll
By
have
the
real
way,
football to talk
the
about.
Rams and the Bills will get played before we air next week.
Yeah.
I'm on the record saying Bills. You're both on the record saying Rams.
So there you go. So we'll see who's right next week.
No, we won't. We already know who's right. It's me.
Nah, okay. If you say
Good
so.
to know. Lou Desmond Company. Thank you. Loud Esmond. You are Jeremy James, Christian Giordani. Take us out, Jeremy.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back next Friday and every Friday, 5 o'clock here on YouTube and Twitch on the Steer the Line channels. Also, if you're listening in Southern California, we're on the radio on 1490 AM KMET. We'll see you next Friday. Enjoy week one of the NFL season. Thursday night kicks it off. Go Raiders,
so
go.
exciting.
Rams.
Go football. See you next week.